Hey everyone, John Thornhill here, and welcome to another Partnership to Success webinar. As usual, guys, please let me know you can hear my voice, and you should be looking at a screen that says Getting Results Fast, and you should be seeing a picture of myself and the very handsome Randy Smith, who hopefully you will hear right now when he says hello.
Yeah, hello. A very old picture of when I used to come.
Yeah, I'm not saying nothing, Randy. I'm aging as well. Okay, we got lots of comments coming in now. I will just say, obviously, we did the trial offer of partnerships. We've got a lot of new members coming in, and hence we've got a busy webinar today. So what we thought we would do is we'd do a little presentation for you guys. That's especially for you guys, but this does apply as well to anyone who's been in this program, no matter how long you've been in. Okay, but I just want to say hello to Martin. We've got Robin. We've got John. Hello, George. Hello, Gail. Hello, Lynn. We've got a few people who's been in the program a while, but hello, Michael, Rich, hello, Sarah, how are you? Hello, Ben, Donna. Okay, lots and lots of people from everywhere. Moscow, Dallas, obviously Sarah from Down Under. Hello, right then. Okay then, guys. So, like I said, we want to do today. We're not really going to talk about anything else. We're just going to do a presentation that will show you how to get the best results from the program fast. Okay, now ultimately this program evolves around creating your own products and services, getting them launched, but there's a lot you can do before that happens as well. And like we've said as well, no matter how long you've been in this program, and seeing some names in here, for people who have been in a while, this can help you as well. Okay, and this all sort of came about because Randy actually revamped his blog just a few months ago, and he's been getting really, really good results. So basically, we've put a presentation together that we hope you guys are going to enjoy. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to take questions at the end, okay? Now, the reason we're doing this like this is because we're going to record this, okay? We're actually going to use this content as part of the program. So there's a little lesson there. We're using this content. Yes, we're doing it live, but hopefully, everything will turn out okay, and we can put this content in the members area, and then it's there forever. Okay, so just a little lesson there for anyone who's new. If you can ever, repurpose your content, that's one way you can make it go further. So, without further ado, I want to get on with it. So we're going to talk about getting results fast. Okay, and the best way you can start getting results from the Partnership to Success program. Now, the first thing I do want to mention to all of the new people in the program, please do check out the Start Here section, okay? When you first get logged in, please make sure you go through all of the 6 steps. I'm not going to walk you through that on this webinar because that was covered on the welcome webinar. But just in case anyone missed the welcome webinar or you haven't checked this out yet, please make sure you go through those steps. Now, the fact you're on this webinar is telling me you've already done that, or you wouldn't have been here on this call right now. But just make sure you go through everything so you can see how everything works. Pay particular attention to step 5 as well, because there's a ton of questions in there that are, the most common questions we get are answered for you in there as well. Okay.
It's also
yes, Randy, go on.
On step 6, I know some people have gone through and they put a ticket in. They said, I've done going through the 1 to 6 steps, but I'm a bit confused with Jumpstart. I think this presentation will make that fall back in line again, and it's almost like step 6 should be and after you've done week 1, come back and look at step 6, and it'll make a lot more sense. So hopefully this presentation will also make more sense on that as well.
Perfect. Okay, so the first part of the program, okay, we do the program in phases. There's actually 8 phases in total, and phase 1 is all about building an online presence. Okay. It's all about getting yourself online, getting yourself out there and becoming established. Okay, now what I do want to say straight away, okay, is that you can be fast-tracked. Okay, for anyone coming into the program, if it's week 1 and you've got it completed, you could probably complete week 1 in an hour or 2, and you think, I've got 6 days to wait, just let us know. So you have to do this through the support system, but let us know, and we will open up the whole of phase 1 for you, which is the first 8 weeks. Okay, so if you want to be the whole of phase 1 opened up, just let us know, okay, and we can do that for you. But in a nutshell, phase 1 is all about blogging, okay, getting yourself established online, building a blog, and basically preparing yourself for the next phase, which is obviously starting to create your product. Now, despite what anyone tells you, okay, your blog is the most important site you will put online. If anyone is telling you otherwise, they're probably trying to sell you something else, okay? But believe me, there's nothing more important than, and I know this from experience, I know this from watching other students grow and build their business from scratch, okay? And I think Randy, again, even though he's had blogs in the past, I think he's realizing again how important it actually is, okay? Yes, we've got social media now. You know, Facebook is huge, Twitter's huge, but blogging hasn't gone away, okay? And you will still find that when people search for you online, usually the #1 result is going to be your blog if you do it right, okay? Yes, they can maybe find your YouTube channel or your Facebook page or your Twitter profile or whatever, but 9 times out of 10, they're going to end up on your blog, and that's where you make that initial connection, okay?
It also ties in with that old analogy we've used time and again in the past about, you know, watching a building go up, and you drive past a building site and it looks empty week after week after week. And you think, why is that just sat empty? They're doing nothing. And then suddenly you see, they've been digging the foundations and laying the foundations. And, you know, it takes months before you see a couple of levels of bricks come above ground. And then suddenly a week and a half later, you're like, whoa, there's a roof on the place and they're moving people in. And you think, what's going on? And it's always a case of you've got to spend the time in the foundations. Otherwise, the whole structure is going to fall apart and collapse. And it's the same with your business. The blogging is the boring bit. It's the foundations bit. It seems to take forever to get established, get some ranking and get some traffic and all the rest of it. It seems like it, but it's actually a really important aspect of getting those foundations in, because then the rest of your business is going to sit on top of that. Your blog's going to be like your central hub, and you'll be amazed at the difference it makes having it once you get going. But you might not realize it as you're starting out. And that's just the same as I say with the building site. It looks like it's taking forever, and then suddenly, bang, the building's up.
Yeah, good point, Randy. Very good point. So it is the gateway to everything you do, okay? And like I said, it's how most people are going to find out about you, okay? So what we're doing in this presentation is we're basically going to cover all things blogging, and we're going to show you how to get the most from your blog, and basically we're going to show you how to generate traffic from day one, okay, and turn that traffic into sales and subscribers. Now, I just want to show you, this is when I started my blog, okay? It was October the 1st, 2007, so a long time ago, okay? And my blog has been the most important site I've got online ever since, okay? Now, I'm going to be honest, okay? I probably don't blog as much as I used to. You know, I probably only do about 1 or 2 new posts per month now. But in the early days, I was blogging, you know, I was putting maybe 2, 3, 4 posts a week out. In the first month of October in 2007, if you actually go to my blog and you scroll right to the bottom, you'll see my older posts. I actually did a post every day in October 2007, which gave me the initial kickstart and got people following me. But once you become established, you know, your blog is just literally bringing in traffic, and you don't have to do anything, okay? You know, obviously when you put new content out there, you're attracting new traffic, but, you know, this post will still be getting found by people. You know, people will still be looking at this post, and it was written over 12 years, you know, I'm sorry, almost 12 years ago. So, you know, think about that for a moment. Some content I've created years and years and years ago is still getting traffic. And that sort of connects with what Randy was saying. In the early days, obviously, when you've only got a few posts out there, to get that traction going takes a little bit of time. So, but once you've got, you know, 30 posts, 40 posts, 50 posts or more, then obviously the first few posts you've written are starting to make traction and still getting traffic, but the new content is also getting traffic as well. And Randy's blog is here as well. We just thought I just thought on this one I'd bring up his About Me page. So we've been doing this for a while, but like I say, Randy, we'll talk more about how Randy's blog sort of went and came back later on in the presentation. But I just want to show you guys that, you know, it's not just something we make up. You know, the reason I have you acquire your domain name, acquire your name, and then build a blog is because it's very, very important. Okay, so just make sure you understand that.
I was going to say the other aspect of your blog, and I wish I'd kept mine online originally now, but the other side benefit is now, today, somebody could say, who's this John Thornhill then? You're recommending this program. It costs a lot of money. I've never heard of him. And somebody could say, go and have a look. And if they search for you and then they go back and they go, wow, the guy's been there since 2007, straight away, that adds credibility for you. Regardless of whatever other products they stumble upon just the fact that they can see a history of you being there, consistent, honest, ethical, simple, and what have you, for all those years, immediately adds so much more credibility and makes people think, yeah, I can trust this guy with me cash. He's not going anywhere. He's been around a long time.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point, Randy. I mean, when you do become established online, people are going to research you. They're going to check you out. And obviously you want them to find you don't want them to find nothing. You know, they need to find you. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, that will be your blog that they find first. Now, I do want you guys to realize that you're in a position to write your very first blog post after week 1 is complete. So literally you could come into the program and within a couple of hours, you're in a position to write a post, okay? Now, more importantly, this means you're also in a position to start generating revenue after week 1 is complete, okay? Something you might not realize, but when you're ready to write a blog post, you're obviously ready to put content out there, and that content is in a position to start making you money, okay? Now, the big question we get, and we still get, and especially in the early days, one of the biggest things people come up with is, John, what am I going to write about? Who's going to listen to me? What can I say? What can I do? Etc. Etc. Okay, so we're going to try and give you some ideas now. That's going to help you, generate ideas for content. But before we start, okay, before we even get started, what I like to do is just stuff that's going on in your general day-to-day life can sometimes be turned into a blog post. Okay, you might see something happen and then you might be able to turn that into a blog post. Keep that in mind as you're sort of like going through these slides. Okay, so we're going to try and cover some of the most common topics that you can write about. Okay, I'm going to give you examples as well. So obviously the first thing you should do, or can do, maybe not should do, but can do, is just write about your journey. How did you get to where you are today? Have you been trying to make money online for, I don't know, 5 years, 10 years? Have you bought programs that didn't work? What frustrated you the most? That sort of thing. And this is just an example here of from Kev Spence, who's in the program, and he's basically writing about how he progresses through the program. Okay, now you're going to see arrows as we go through these slides, and what the arrows are indicating are affiliate links. Okay, and that's something we're going to sort of press upon you as we go through this presentation. Is you should try and have affiliate links in your blog posts and a call to action at the end. Okay, now what you shouldn't do though is you don't want to see, I don't know, 10 affiliate links on a single blog post, and you've got to make sure that they are congruent as well. So you can see Kev's opening up this post and he's saying through the stage of the training with John's product creation workshop course. Now that link is obviously going to my product creation workshop, which is the evergreen webinar that promotes the program. So if anyone reads this post, and remember, this is his very, very first post, okay? If anyone comes across this post, clicks that link, signs up for the webinar, and then invests in the program, he's going to get paid, okay? Now think about that for a moment. This could be a couple of hours after joining the program. Now, is he going to make money in the first few hours? Is that likely to happen if he's just starting out? I'm going to be honest and say no. But the thing is, he is in a position for that to happen, okay, and it can happen, and that's what we're going to keep pressing upon you as we go through this. As you create your content, as you put your content out there, you should always be thinking of ways to monetize it and put links in your posts and things like that.
Another point on that, John, is some people, we tell them this and they say, well, it's all well and good, but obviously this is my first post, and as he says, a few lines further down, I must admit, take the course in the beginning, it's very daunting, questions, blah, blah, blah. And people might think, oh, but yeah, I'm a nobody and I've done nothing. So why would somebody pay any attention? And there's a couple of points there. Is I can well remember when I was making like $2, $3, $4 here and there. And if I came across John Thornhill's blog, and oh yes, it's another month and I made another 10 grand this week and I've done another 50 grand this month and blah, 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 blah. I would just sit and go, oh, it's no good me reading about that guy. The guy is so far above my glass ceiling. I'd never be able to do that. Ever, ever, ever. Pointless. Click away. But if I came across somebody that's like, hey, I've just started, but look, I've made a bit of progress, I'd be more inclined to think, do you know what? I'm just starting. I've made no progress. This guy's made a bit of progress. I'm going to follow him because it's more believable in my mind that I can emulate what another newbie's doing rather than try to copy what somebody who's making 40, 50 grand a month's doing. So don't ever be put off by the fact that you're not doing now. Just tell people honestly, don't try this fake it till you make it. Oh, I'm making 10 grand a month. P.S. Does anybody know how I can make another $100? I've got my rent to pay. No, just, I've seen that so many times on forums. But, if you just be straight with people and say, look, this is my first $50 I've earned. This is my first $100 I've earned. Hey, I'm on to month 2 and I've made a few $100. Anybody that comes across that and goes, oh, if I can do the $50 like he's done, just to prove to the wife I can do this, she won't give me as much grief about spending a bit of time on the computer. Wow, I've done it. I've made $50. Oh, the guy's now done $200. I'm still going to follow him and copy him. And if I can do the same, and suddenly your own confidence builds, as a person following that subscriber. But from your perspective, it means people are following you on your journey and they're only a couple of steps behind. And all you need to do is show them what you've done next time so that they can stay a couple of steps behind you. You stay a couple of steps ahead. But in the meantime, you are building your business, your income, your subscriber database and everything else. So don't ever get stressed out thinking, what's the point? John's doing 10 grand a week or a day or whatever, and I've got nothing. It's like, yeah, there's lots of people would be put off by the big figures and just want to follow somebody who's down to earth, trying something and having a little bit of success.
Yeah, it's more believable, isn't it? When you're following someone who's just starting out, and especially if they're upfront and honest. I mean, a good thing you can do when you first launch your blog is say, today is day 1, and this is the start of my online journey. Follow me. I'll document everything I do. I'll let you know what works, what doesn't work, etc., etc. You'd be amazed at how many people will be interested to follow your progress. I mean, you've probably seen people, for example, on Facebook, you might have seen someone who, for example, might be overweight, and they'll publicly put their picture on Facebook, and they'll say, right, over the next 90 days, I'm going to lose, I don't know, 50 pounds or something. I'm going to document everything I do, the food I eat, the exercise I do, etc., etc. People love following that sort of stuff. You can do exactly the same with your blog, using in the internet marketing space. So you can do, you can say to people, look, I'm going to be doing X, Y, Z, follow me, and I'll tell you exactly how it works out for me. And that's sort of what, that's what Kev's doing in this post. And I just want to touch on the third paragraph by saying it was daunting for me. That sort of does touch on with what I say next. Struggles you face so far. Most people who come into this program have usually had some sort of struggle up to this point. The average person who comes into partnership has usually tried everything, or they finally realize it's going to take some work. That's very, very common. They've tried all the get rich quick stuff. And, that's something else you can sort of write about. You can say, look, I've been trying all of the stuff that you've probably tried, people reading your blog, and you probably realize there's nothing out there that's going to give you push button riches. And I just want to this was a long post from Lee Cornell. You can see at the start, he's saying he's just completed week 2. And then he's saying about how he's lost when it comes to the newer breeding processes. He's sort of opening up and talking about his struggles, okay? So that's something else you can write about, and that helps you connect as well, because what you'll find is if you're admitting to maybe your failures, people are going to be reading and nodding their head. Okay, if you can get someone to sort of almost agree with what you're writing with, they're going to want to follow you and see what you're up to, okay? So just bear that in mind as well. You obviously want to document your progress through the program. This actually is one of the easiest ways to come up with ideas about content, because you can literally just tell people how it's going for you. This is a post from Don. You can see, he opens up with the fact that he continues to be impressed by John Thornham's Partnership Success Program, just completed phase 1, which is setting up the fundamentals needed for the rest of the program. So he's talking about, he said he already had a blog set up, but he's still learning, etc. And then there, look what he does at the end of the post. You can see the arrow. He's linking off to the product creation workshop, which has a potential to pay him a commission. Okay,
so reminding me of a movie, and a bit of sadness actually. Remembering my mum. She'd been dead a long time now, 9 years. But my mum used to, when we first came to the UK, I was 4 years old, and my mum was German, couldn't speak a word of English, so she'd sit and watch black and white movies, just one after another. eventually picked up the language. But that got her into, I'll keep this short, got her into watching black and white movies. And I remember one specific movie was an old time movie with the actor and actress was Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Now, anybody that's my age or older might have heard of them. The youth of today, probably no clue. But Fred Astaire was a big time dancer in Hollywood movies back in the 30s, 40s, whenever it was, 100 years ago, whatever. In this movie, his character was a guy who wanted to learn to dance. And what he did was he went along to this local village hall, and for sixpence on a Thursday night, you could get dance lessons. And he really wanted to do it, but he couldn't really afford it because that was most of his wages in them days. So he wanted to, so he took a chance, paid his sixpence and learnt the first steps of dancing. And he really loved it and he wanted to go on and, you know, become an expert dancer, but how was he going to fund this? So he talked to the girl behind the counter and said, do you do much in the village hall? She says, oh, there's a few bits and bobs, you know, Women's Institute meeting, flower meeting, you know, whatever. And he said, what about dance classes? She said, oh, just the Thursday night ones, sixpence. He said, well, how much is it to hire the hall? She says, it's a penny. He says, well, are you free on a Tuesday? She says, Tuesday mornings were free. He says, I'd like to hire the hall Tuesday morning. She says, what are you going to do? He went, dance lessons. She says, but we have dance lessons on a Thursday for sixpence. He says, mine are only twopence. She went, oh, well, there's a lot of people can't afford sixpence that would probably come along and try and learn for twopence. I'll put you down. So put a little advert on the door, Tuesday morning dance lessons, only twopence. And then every Tuesday, he went in and loads of people turned up that couldn't afford the sixpence, paid him the twopence, and all he taught them was what he'd learnt last week. And the point I'm making here is, this is what Don's doing, in a sense, is he's teaching you what he learnt last week. But that still means he's ahead of whoever's reading him. So they're going to keep following him because they haven't got the money to invest in the program yet, but they want to see how Don goes with it. And they'll buy a few products that he recommends along the way, which will keep him funding, making him some commissions, building his subscribers while he gets on with his product creation and what have you, until he's got a product that's a bit cheaper than £2,000 that he can sell them, and then they'll buy that product from him. So basically, you know, just like Fred Astaire in this old time movie, you know, you learn something, you pay good money to learn it, but then go teach that to somebody else and do it for, you know, a lot less. Have a few affiliate links for cheaper products or tools that you find useful or whatever. I'm probably jumping ahead there, but the point is, you know, you can just show what you've just been doing.
Yeah, you show what you've learned and pass on that knowledge. And but again, you in the same breath, you're saying, but if you want to learn from the guy I'm learning from, which in this instance he's doing, go and check out the workshop. So yeah, I can see how that works. Right then, guys. Next one. This one's a big one. Tools you like or use in your business. Just give me a second. I'm just getting my bearings here. This was actually, you know, something you can do a lot. I mean, any time you use something, you do something, if something helps you. We'll touch more on this a little bit later. You should be mentioning it, okay? And I took this one from one of Randy's posts. He actually only put this one up recently, and he was showing people how to install a free help desk. So sort of, you know, you're sort of touching on what you've just said there, Randy. I mean, I use a paid help desk, but, you know, some people don't want to pay for a help desk yet, or they're not ready for it yet, and they just want the simplified version, and you show them how to do it for free, which is, you know, exactly what you do. Now, obviously, he's recommending products and services there. D9 hosting, I guarantee that's Randy's affiliate link. The GDPR app is actually Randy's product. And I don't know if Hesk has a, you know, an upgrade option or not, Randy. I don't know if that's
no, it's a freebie, but again, I don't like to put a post up without having some sort of money link. So even if I put some up for free, there'll always be a money link somewhere as well. So by all means, link to free stuff, because that's what makes people share, which we'll touch on as we move on. But then ensure that you've got a money link in there as well. So, you know, if you scroll down on that post, you'd find also that there's a link for Product Creation Workshop in the PS.
Yeah, we cover that now. We cover that in another slide. But yeah, ensure you have a money link in your blog post. You might want to write that one down. That's something you can sort of take with you. Ensure you have a money link. Basically, we've already said this, but it's something you need to have ingrained in everything you do on your blog. You know, there'll be very, very, very few instances where you can't monetize a blog post. Very few. Okay, so there's always an option to put an affiliate link somewhere, because anyone who's reading and anyone who's finding your content interesting and wants to find out more, they're going to click that link. They're going to go and check out something, and then if they're one of the small percentage you go and invest, you get paid. And obviously products you recommend. I'm bringing up Lynn on this one, Lynn's blog. This is just talking about the Go Giver. Again, Randy, this touches on that dance thing you talked about. Obviously, at the end of week 1, I say go and read the Go Giver. So Lynn is just basically saying how good it was and how much she's learned from it. So she's linking off to it. Now, I hope that's an affiliate link, Lynn. I know you don't earn very, very much from Amazon. It's pennies, but it doesn't matter. It all adds up. You know, if you're going to link to anything, do your best to find an affiliate link. I mean, you know, I don't know where you're linking to. I should have checked that really. But one thing Lynn is doing as well is sort of what Randy just touched on there, is a sort of PS or a signature at the bottom, okay? And she's talking about my webinar. Again, that will be her affiliate link, okay? So, you know, if it's anything you're using online you find valuable, or you find that you can talk about, or even sometimes stuff you don't like. I mean, you know, I'm not one to go and write a lot of negative stuff, you know, but if I believe something can be avoided, I would put it out there. So, you know, bear that in mind as well. There might be something you don't recommend, and then you can recommend an alternative. That's another thing you can do. I wouldn't make that my business model. I'm not, you know, other marketers do that. They'll say, you know, they'll say a launch happening. They'll say, this is not a very good product. Here's a better version for cheaper or something, that, you know, but you can sort of do it with, you know, for example, you might say there's been a lot of talk about XYZ this week in the market space. I actually used it last month and I didn't get any results, or, you know, it didn't work for me. However, I did find, you know, ABC, and this works much better for me. Go and check it out here. You know, you can do that as well.
Or even just found a free alternative to a highly paid tool that, you know, one day I hope to buy Camtasia, but, you know, or I hope to buy Photoshop, but at the moment I can't afford it. But I found this free version. It might not have all the bells and whistles, but it does the job for basics, for newbies like me. And then all the other newbies are like, oh, fantastic, thanks for recommending that. Oh, by the way, there's also this that's only $10 that does whatever, you know, etc. And that way you've got a chance of, they can't afford $600, but yeah, they'll go and invest $10 on the cheaper alternative that you've mentioned.
Yeah, good point, Randy. And I just want to touch on this again as well. You know, Randy's just touched on something you can write about there. Now, you can write about that today, and in 5 years' time, that post will still be getting read, still getting clicks, and still generating income. Okay, just bear that in mind. I know I said that right at the start, but there's little seeds I want to plant. Okay, every time you put a post out there, and every time you've got a link in that post, it's got the potential to generate income for years to come. Okay, just keep that in your mind. Okay, so anyway, we're going to give you some more ideas here. Write about your hosting company. I mean, you guys know. I write about D9. I recommend D9. Partnership with Success is hosted on D9. And I write about how, you know, they understand our business model, and how if you need support, you know, you can literally reach directly to the guy at the top of the chain. About how, you know, you don't want to be going with companies like GoDaddy and the big companies who literally don't understand our business model, don't understand what it's like if your site goes down an hour before you go live, that sort of thing. Okay, that's all positive stuff for me, what I pass on to you guys, and obviously that's why I recommend D9 hosting. There's nothing stopping you doing the same. Okay, D9 has an affiliate program you can join. Sorry,
yeah, it's another thing people forget is they go, oh, well, I've got nothing I can write about yet. And it's like, hang on, you've got a blog online, so you must have hosting, you must have used WordPress, you must have used some sort of theme or optimized press or something to put your blog up with. You know, you possibly have an autoresponder connected. You know, there's so many tools, legal pages, you know, GDPR pages. There's so many tools you've used just to get online, and you're forgetting that those are all things you can be an affiliate for. And then write about your experience of using them. What was great, what you didn't like or struggled with, you know, but you found some help videos for, etc., etc.
I think what I've done in the past with D9 as well is a couple of times in the early days, my blog just disappeared. I did something, can't even remember what it was now, and it was gone. Okay, imagine going to your blog and we're talking, you know, it was about 4 years old, and it was gone. Now, it did have backups, but if I remember rightly, it hadn't been backed up for a few months. Lesson learned there. But got on to D9 instantly, got on to Dan Thompson, the top guy at D9 who owns a company, and said, Dan, my blog is gone, please help. And he said, hold on, give us 20 minutes. It was back up. So I obviously wrote about that experience. You know, I wrote about how I was panicking. I wrote about how, you know, I thought I'd lost my blog, and I thought if I could find my update, it was going to be, you know, there's going to be 6 months worth of posts gone, something like that. And then, you know, I wrote about how Dan saved the day and everything was good. I said, look, if you ever want a reliable hosting company, go and check out D9. And, you know, that's the sort of thing you can do as well. If you have a positive experience, just write about it. You know, if you do something that's helped you in your business or saved the day, whatever, write about it. For example, with the autoresponders with Aweber. I mean, I use Aweber, I use GetResponse. I've got 2 self-hosted solutions. But for me, Aweber is the best, okay? And that's why I recommend Aweber to you guys first. Aweber support is first class. If you can jump on live chat, if you contact their support, I'm not joking, usually 10 minutes later, you've got a response. And that's all positive stuff I can write about. And obviously, if I'm recommending Aweber, I'm going to use my affiliate link. I'd be crazy not to. So that's another example there. You do know how to set up a blog after week 3, week 4, your blog is done. Yes, there's more stuff we do, but your blog you've got a good looking blog after 3 weeks. You're actually in a position to start teaching it yourself. Like Randy said with the dancing analogy, you know, you can start telling people how to put an image on, how to put a header on, how to add an opt-in form, you know, how to format the post, how you know, whatever. All the stuff you've learned, you can start passing on that knowledge. Optimize Press 2, again, it's something I use a lot. Now, obviously, you're just getting to grips with that if you're new to the program and new to Optimize Press 2, but as you progress, you will become an Optimize Press Pro, okay? I mean, I've been using it for over 5 years now, and, you know, I know it pretty much inside out, and I know all the little tips and tricks which I can pass on, but at the same time, you know, you can learn that as well, and if you recommend Optimize Press 2, you can obviously use your affiliate link. Other partnership members, experiences you've had with other members, and relationships, other partnership members' products. Maybe another partnership member's wrote a fantastic blog post as well. You can maybe comment on that and link to it and write about it, add your opinion. Maybe there's a fantastic product they've just released. You know, for example, you know, you might have a really, really good connection with a partnership member, and you might start to get involved with what they're doing, and you can document the process. And obviously, when you end up promoting their product, you're using your affiliate link. Okay, so there's just a few more ideas.
That HESC video that you just showed on mine, that came about, and I actually say so, I think, on the post. You know, it came about because somewhere in one of the Facebook groups I'm in, somebody said, oh, here's my old PDF that I used to sell years ago on how to install HESC. And it was so complicated and complex, that's why I sold it, you know, because it broke it down step by step. And then when I discovered how simple it is now with this softer colours, whatever it is that I show, I don't even know the technical names for the stuff. I just know that I did that, I clicked that, and bang, it was done. You know, so other people's posts and tips that they might share in the Facebook group, you could take that and go, hey, somebody in the Facebook group shared this free resource. So I went and had a go. And here's what I found. I tried it out, I did this, I did that, and hey, it works as it's advertised on the tin. It's a free resource, it's fantastic, it's this, that, and the other. And then you might want whatever tool to go with that, which here's a link to recommend that tool, and bang, you've got yourself a blog post, a free resource, an affiliate link. Other people are now going to share that, or because you saw another member talk about it in a Facebook group, or, you know, what have you, or you bought another member's product and you found it was fantastic. If it's an evergreen product, then again, mention that. I tend not to do product stuff as much. If they're not evergreen, I don't want them on my blog, because as John said, 5 years from now, I don't want somebody clicking a dead link. But if it's an evergreen product and you think, yeah, this is fantastic, and it's something that's not going to change because it's not about Facebook that might change their algorithm next week or whatever, evergreen stuff, always mention it. What were your thoughts? What do you think was great? Was there any negatives? If there was, detail the negatives, but then offer a bit of a bonus, and here's some tips to overcome that negative, so now you can safely buy that product and know you won't stumble like I did, because I've showed you how to overcome that. You know, all sorts of things you can blog about there. and pick up from other members, relationships that you've got.
Yeah, I think what happens is once you start doing this, you're constantly in a little sort of mode where you're picking up ideas, not just for blogs, but maybe for product ideas and you know, even something just as much as a Facebook post. You know, you're constantly seeing things happen in your day-to-day life and online, and you think, okay, I can make that into a blog post. You know, I'm trying to think of an example here. You know, how basically, you know, how people always queue for the January sales. That, you know, people would queue up. I mean, in the UK, we have a clothing shop called Next, and for anyone outside of the UK, I do apologise, but they opened the store at 5 a.m. On Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. You know, and who in their right? I always think who in their right mind would get up, you know, at 5 a.m. to go and queue for a few hours to buy something that they probably don't need, or you know, old stock that they can't sell. And I wrote about that in the past. You know, it's herd mentality, and I just can't get my head around why people do that. But then at the same time, I can get caught up in that. In my, you know, I bought products on launch day and got excited and things like that. So you can sometimes just take what's happening in your everyday life and turn it into, you know, something where you can give other people at least your opinion.
One of my favourite everyday life type stories, and because bear in mind I come from a sales and marketing background, John, I was watching a butcher giving free bones outside his butcher's shop. So all the people that were walking the dog's like, whoa, what's that? Straight to the butcher's shop, and the butcher's like, yeah, just help yourself. So they'd get a bone, give it the dog was chucked to bits, and they'd wander off, do the dog walk, and then go home. And this is where the sales and marketing bit, because I know about, you know, Capaldi's book and whatever, the laws of reciprocation, the laws of persuasion. It's a case of, yeah, in terms of reciprocation, that guy's just giving you something for nothing. So when the wife says, oh, nick down to Asda or Tesco or Walmart or whatever your big superstore is and get us a pound of sausages for tea tonight, you're thinking to yourself, well, I would, but that butcher was really decent, gave us a free bone for it. Dog, I'm going to go and try his sausages. So suddenly that butcher's now turned getting shot of waste into a marketing experience that's bringing in further customers, future customers. By giving the bones away instead of binning them, he's then done a favour for all those dog walkers walking past, who are now all going to think, I owe that guy a favour, I'm going to go and buy his sausages. So now he's generating extra income because of his experience there. And you could blog about that and say, and that's how it works online, by me offering you this free PDF of the things I've learned from John Thornhill. In exchange for your email address, you know, you give me your email address, I'll give you this free product. And, you know, it's the same principle. So that's how I learned about this principle from walking my dog or whatever it might be.
Yeah, you can get it to same with a free sample, isn't it? You walk past a, I don't know, delicatessen, and they might be giving you a, you know, a piece of ham or something, whatever, you know, a free sample. It's exactly the same sort of principle, isn't it? Mm. So anyway, we've got even more ideas. We want to keep the ideas coming, okay? Have you bought a tool that does its job well? Okay, blog about it, you know, post about it, write about it. I'm sure you have, or you're going to, you know, especially as you go through this program, you're going to invest in maybe a few tools that does its job well as you go through the program, and as you connect with other marketers. Have you got some great advice from someone? Write about it. Okay, again, Randy just gave you some ideas right there for a blog post. Have you found a free traffic group, a free group that shares good info? Sorry, again, write about it. Share the group. Share what it is. Share how how you've learned from it and how other people can learn from it. Maybe that could be a paid group. Maybe there's an affiliate link. I did see Randy drop an affiliate link into a paid group today in one of his emails. I actually seen it there, Randy.
Yeah, because it was like, look, I got this free information from this paid group. Here's the free information. Isn't it fantastic? And if you're interested in that paid group, here's where you can join.
That's where you can join, yeah.
So some people will be like, wow, what other stuff do they share in there? Is it, you know, oh, it's only that much a month. Oh, I'll go and join.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, if you're sort of revealing something from the inside as well, you know, you're in a paid group and you say, look, they shared this information today. They share great information like this all the time. Go and check it out, obviously with your affiliate link. And that could be a recurring as well, a recurring membership where you earn money every month. Same with a great, you know, you might have found a great tool or a plugin, something that's helping you get more traffic to your blog, something that's making your blogging life easier. Share it. Even it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to, you know, every single thing you recommend doesn't have to be paid for. You want to try, ultimately, ultimately, you want to be helping your readers. You want to be educating your readers. You want to be helping them. But every time you've got that chance to drop an affiliate link, you should. Okay, it's as simple as that.
And that's where the great fallback is. You know, put the free tool, the free plugin, the whatever it is. Hey, I found this great tool. It does this great job. Here's blah, 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 blah. And then sign off. And then PS. The reason I'm doing all this is because I'm working through this program. You can watch a free webinar here. Bang. Jumpstart.
Yeah. I'm actually going to touch on that right now. So here's some more tips, guys. Link to a recommendation at the end of every post. Okay. And this is what Randy does. Okay, this is from 2 of his posts. I took the last 2 posts on his blog, and literally he'll have links above that recommending whatever it was, but he always has this PS. Okay.
Well, for example, just to touch on those, let me just check the PS. So there's a coaching offer at the end, but you don't expect to get the money before you put the work in. That was a post about give me heat, then I'll put coal on the fire. And how ridiculous that sounds, but that's how so many people market these days. They expect to get the results first before they put the work in, blah, 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 blah. So it was a motivational type, kick up the backside type post. But at the end, I've gone, oh, and here's a free workshop. And then I've tried to tie it in with the, you know, but don't expect to get money before you put the work in. So it ties it in with the post above. Now, the next one is a post I did about my days in the army. You know, where I learned the phrase keep on keeping on until. And that was because in the army, I realized that everybody that said, I'm too tired, I can't carry on, got their heads screamed and shouted at and ended up on, like, you know, potato peeling duties or whatever it was. But the guys who kept going until they collapsed never got shouted at. They got a free ride back to camp and looked after, and well done for keeping on until you collapsed. So it was always a case of, right, I'm never going to quit. I'm going to keep on keeping on until either I collapse or I complete the task that we're doing. So again, on the product creation workshop, it's like, here's a link. And then because the post was about keeping on until, you know, all those who've been on this training that keep on keeping on until have all found success, strangely enough. You know, so it ties it in with the post again. So each time I put the product creation workshop link in, I have a little line that tries to tie it in with the post. So it all makes logical sense for them to give that link a click.
Perfect. You should always share every new post everywhere you can. Okay. Don't just write a post and then let that be it. Okay. You need to be sharing it everywhere. Okay, especially when you first write it. And just something to touch on as well before I go any further. You can also go back to posts and click share. You know, I haven't got that in the slides, but I do want to mention this. You know, you might have a post that's a month old or 2 months old, 3 months old, 3 years old. If it still offers value, just randomly click share one day and share it again, and you can literally start traffic up all over again. But here's why you can literally be sharing it. Sorry?
Sorry, I was just saying, I've seen you do that many times with some of your evergreen posts, like 100 tips to recruit affiliates or something, or whatever it is you've got. And then, you know, it'll be like a post from 5 years ago and you suddenly share it and bang, you've got all these people talking about it all over Facebook.
Yeah, and because the post has already got lots of comments as well, it automatically gives it that credibility. So then it just, people see it and then share it again, and it can go viral all over again. And all you've done is click share. That's it. So obviously the places to share, Facebook, you know, that's probably the number one place. Obviously it depends what you do, but most of the time, you know, using the sharing tools that we use in our blog, you know, there's many different ways to share your content, but most of the social media ones will include a Facebook link. Now I'll show you.
You share on Facebook with your click, but then I go and copy that shared thing, and then I'll go and paste it in groups as well.
Yeah. So you're literally putting it out there. I mean, you guys must have seen a post or an article and you've clicked share on your Facebook because you've liked it. I mean, that happens quite often. I've done it many times. This is the same principle here. If you write something that people like, they will naturally share it. It's just what people do. Okay. And you can literally write something, share it. And if done right, it can go viral. And before you know where you are, it's getting hundreds and hundreds of views. Obviously Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, places like that. Okay, social media places. For me, Facebook and Twitter are usually the two big ones I use. Okay, email.
Can I just touch there, John?
Yeah, go for it, Randy. Yeah, go for it.
I was looking at my traffic stats after I put that post up yesterday and shared it. The LinkedIn bot is like first to the scene. And because LinkedIn is in Google's, I mean, I think it's useless in terms of like, I don't want to connect with managing directors or the businesses and what have you. But in terms of Google and the backlink authority that you get, because LinkedIn's a majorly authority site, Google gives a lot of brownie points to anything that's linked by Google, that's linked by LinkedIn, that the LinkedIn bots have been to. So when I share on LinkedIn, I don't expect people from LinkedIn to come and have a look at my post. They might, and that's great, but their bot will come and look, and that reports back to Googlebot that they've had a look, and Googlebot says, whoa, if LinkedIn thinks it's, worthy of a look, then we'll have a look, and suddenly your rankings are going up, which means that you're higher in the Google search. So again, Google give you more organic traffic.
Yeah. Like I say, I'm not, I should be using maybe LinkedIn more, but it's just for me personally, Facebook and Twitter. But yeah, it's a very good point, Randy. Maybe something I need to look at more. Obviously, email, if you've got any, when you do start to build a list, if you've got a new blog post, let your subscribers know. You can, WordPress, you can also build subscribers automatically through WordPress, and when you do write a new post, it'll automatically be emailed as well. We do cover that in the training as well, okay? So that's something you should be doing. Without a doubt, you should be sharing in the Partnership of Success Facebook group. When you write a new blog post, doesn't matter what it's about, just put it in the Facebook group, because we encourage all members to like, to comment, to share, and it doesn't matter what it's about, okay? You put it in the Partnership of Success Facebook group. Not only will you get good feedback, if that's what you want, critiques, things like that, advice, you'll also find that the partnership members will just share their stuff. You share your stuff on Facebook and in other places.
And again, Facebook's an authority site, so if you've got a link from Facebook pointing back to your site, Google are going to go, oh, look, there's another one. This guy must be important. Move him up.
Yeah, and it's great for your confidence as well when you're first starting out. There's nothing better than when you write your first few blog posts and you start to get comments. Believe me, you get a buzz from that. If you haven't done that yet, you will understand what I mean. When people start commenting and it's positive and it's telling you you're doing a great job, it just does wonders for your confidence. So do it in the make sure you do it in the Facebook group, because that's probably the first place you're going to get those interactions from. Obviously, any forums you're involved with, depending on what you're doing, it does no harm to link to your post, as long as it's allowed, obviously, or maybe it has to be through a signature, but forums can still get you a lot of traffic as well. Okay, guys, just got a few more slides and then we'll be done, and any questions we will answer. But the next one, encourage comments and sharing, okay? When you've wrote a blog post, ask people to leave a comment. Ask people if they like what they've read to share it, okay? If you ask people to do something, they will do it. So get into the habit of ending a blog post with asking for comments and asking for shares and asking them to click like and things like that, okay? And reciprocate, comment and...
I was going to say, I've got the social share buttons on the side of my site as you teachers, and I use those myself. But on that video, for example, with the HES thing, I thought, do you know what? I'm going to actually put social share buttons underneath that video as well as on the sidebar, just to try and encourage, as you say, encourage people to comment and share. way, if they share from either of the share buttons, they'll either just share the video or they'll share the whole blog post. But either way, it's all going to link back to me.
Yeah, good point, Randy. And yeah, commenting is a big thing. Okay, it's a two-way thing, especially with the partnership program. If you encourage other members to comment on your stuff and you do it, and then they're going to recognize you, you're going to become a name that helps build those connections. So my advice is go to the other blogs. There's a link in the members area. You can link to all. You can see all of the active blogs at the moment. You know, if you see a new post or if you see someone has put a new post in the group, leave a comment. Just leave a comment, and you know, it helps everyone get ranked. And that's just an example of how it works. Okay, I just took this from Randy's blog today. You can see, you know, David there, it's linking to his domain. Okay, that's just a comment, and obviously that gets picked up by Google. Okay, and helps you with your rankings.
So it's like a big snowbally circle thing. You know, I post on LinkedIn, Facebook and everywhere else. Their bots come round, tell Google, hey, look, this is important because we're linking back to it. Google go, all right, Randy's important. We'll move him up the rankings. Next thing Google sees is, oh, well, Randy, we've already decided he's important. And now this guy, David's commented on Randy's site and there's a link back to David's site. Let's go and bump David up a bit. You know, and that's where the blog commenting stuff, I always try to leave a comment on yours. I know yours was playing up the other week and I was whinging at you. Hey, John, I'll try to leave a comment. I want some of your link juice. You know, and I don't know if you got that fixed, but...
Yeah, that's fixed. That's fixed.
Yeah, you know, so yeah, anybody else that you know who's a big name, go and leave a comment, but don't make it one of them spammy, great post, loved reading it. You know, look at the post, read the post and comment about the post so that they definitely put it on their blog. And that way you get that link juice back, the Google love, and improve your own rankings based on somebody else's popularity.
Yeah, I think David does a good job there. You know, he's not just saying great post, Randy. He's actually talking about his experience, isn't he? So, yeah, definitely put time into your comments because it will pay you dividends. And this one's a big one, okay? It was actually Randy who touched on this. He's noticed this a lot with some of the other Partnership with Success members, and it's something I actually don't cover in the training, so I'm covering it here, okay? Link to your blog from your social media profiles, and this is what we mean, okay? Link to your blog. Go into your About page on your social media profiles. This is Facebook. Do it on all of the social media sites you can. If there's anywhere you can put an About, if there's an About section, sorry, and you can link back to your blog, just do it in there, okay? So there you go. Just a quick tip.
Again, you know, there's a direct link to my blog from Facebook, and the same link is from LinkedIn, from Google Plus. I know they're packing that in, but at the moment it's still there, so I still share. From Twitter, you know, from all the social media you've got in your little profile bit. Get your website link in there. Don't just go, hello, yes, I'm so-and-so and I work in a day job at such and such a factory. No. Get your blog link in there. Hey, I'm a part-time internet marketer. I hope to be full-time soon. Here's my blog. Get the link in, and that link, even if people don't see it, the bots will, and the Google bot will. And the Google bot is the one we want to impress, because that will then automatically move you up the rankings, which will then lead to real people seeing it. So it's a bit of a circle. You know, we're trying to attract a bot, but then the bot then gives us more juice and more power, moves us up the rankings, which will eventually attract real people, as we'll show you on rankings shortly.
Right now, Randy, right now.
There you go.
So I just want to put you, can you just point out again, if you have to go to that URL to get this for free, is that right, Randy, again?
Yeah,
I remember you saying something.
It used to be 3 years ago, and then they started suddenly bringing in a pricing thing, and do you want to pay for Alexa, and you can do all this fancy stuff. But when I was searching, I found that they don't mention it in the little links above there, but if you type alexa.com/site info, exactly as you've got it there, then you can still get to this page where you can pop your domain in, as John's circled there, randallsmith.com, and then click find, and Alexa comes up and tells you where you are in the worldwide rankings, where you are in the United States rankings, where your traffic's coming from, etc., etc. Now, don't be upset. If anything, take a screenshot and use it as motivation if you go and Alexa says, nah, we couldn't find nothing, because you've just started. But, and this is the thing where going back to everything we've just said about linking all your social media, sharing on all your social media, sharing this, that, you know, all that stuff. My blog was started from, I scrapped my blog years ago. I started from scratch in June last year when I semi-retired and left Media Kettle and thought, right, I'm going to go and follow John's program again and start building. And I literally went through those first 8 weeks to copy what John was doing again, because I'd forgotten everything. And in those first 8 weeks, I put my blog up and I started blogging. Now, I've been as lazy as everybody and I've got all the same excuses. Life gets in the way, this to do, that to do. There are only 10 posts on my blog, but my blog's gone. And you can see it there from October-ish, they finally found me. From October, I've gone from nowhere to in the top 500,000 worldwide websites. Bearing in mind, there's something, what was it, 16 trillion websites in the world? You know, so if you're ranked at 12 million, don't worry, that's still good. It means you've been seen, you've been found, you know, and then it's just a fun game to log in every month and go, where am I this month? I was 12 million last month. Whoa, I'm at 3 million. I'm at 2 million, 1 million. Hey, I've broke the million mark. I'm in the top 1 million websites out of 16 trillion. You know, so I am getting real people to my blog because of all those links here, there and everywhere.
Yeah, and that's all down to what we've talked about basically in the last hour. You know, everything we've discussed all adds up to sort of building up that ranking, okay? And the most important sort of thing the most important advice we could probably give you is to keep posting, okay? Especially in the early days. You know, try and get into the habit of posting at least once a week, at least, you know, more if you can, and just put stuff out there, get it out there, put it out there, keep doing it, and you will start to see results, okay? You will start to see traffic rankings go up. You will start to see your Alexa rankings go up. You will start to see those first subscribers come in, then that first commission come in, etc., etc. But it will only happen if you keep doing it, okay? I think one thing we do see from time to time with partnership students is when they first come in, that they're keen for the first week or two, and then it starts to drop off, you know, because, you know, it's not going to happen it could happen in the first week, but reality is it's going to take a bit longer, okay? And you have to keep doing it, okay? But believe me, if you keep doing it and keep posting your blog links in the group, keep encouraging people to comment, keep looking for advice, and keep, you know, just taking on board what people are saying and taking on board the positive comments as well, that all takes you in the right direction, which gets you through the first phase. And by the time you've completed phase 1, you're in a really, really strong position, because people are going to start to find out more about you and learn who you are. Then we move into the product creation section, which is where things really do start to happen.
Okay? And don't ever be disheartened, because even if you turn around and think, oh, well, yeah, well, Randy's done all that and he's high ranked and he's got lots of people visiting his site now, but I'm only getting 3 people a day visiting mine. It's like, fantastic. 3 chances of just one person clicking that product creation workshop link could potentially make you $1,000.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether you get 1 visitor a day or 100 visits a day. It only takes 1 click and 1 person just catching them at the right time, at the right moment. They've clicked that link on your blog, and now bang, they've invested in the program and you've made money. And you've made $1,000, not $5, $7, whatever. Yep,
it can happen. And it does happen. It does happen. So there you go, guys. That's our sort of blogging. You know, a blog. We wanted to try and cover it, and we want to make sure that anyone who's, you know, whether you're watching this live, which the people watching live are right now, or whether you're watching the recording, this is hopefully solid information you can take with you as you go through the program. So now we've got, and see the chat is busy. I'm just going to try and weed out the questions, because a lot of them are just general comments. Kev's just saying Google loves Google. Can you have more than 1 account on social sites? Yes and no. I know with Facebook it's a grey area, but they don't mind. But I don't want to be telling you yes when it might be no. You'd have to research that, David.
In most cases, it'd be a case of it would be against Facebook terms, but a lot of people might go and use a different email address to register a secondary account, and that way they end up with 2 accounts. You know, so, you know, it's not something we would advise anybody to break anybody's terms of service, but there are people out there that just use different emails and register multiple accounts.
Adil's asking, how can I start promoting your product besides blogging? It's you know, I would say to start out with, just stick with the blogging. I mean, once you start to build a list, you can make other recommendations.
Can I jump in there, John? I'm sorry.
You can do it. Go for it, Randy.
I'm not trying to pick on you, Adil, but you've asked the question that a lot of people do ask. And it's a case of, oh, well, you could go and do paid traffic. You could go and do this. You could go and do that. You could do 1,000,001 things that are going to completely distract you from the whole point of the Partnership to Success course.
Yeah, good point.
And when that happens, you're going to get more skint, less money available to invest in your own future, and lose track and be distracted. So this is one of the reasons we've done this presentation, is to say, look, this is solid information. Do this because it's part of the program, and it will set you up for the future, because then you move on to phase 2 and create a product, and then you'll launch a product, and then you'll follow up on that. And this is all part of what John's designed to get you from 0 to full-time marketer within 12 months. But if you want to go sidetrack and go, oh, well, I'll go and try some solo ads, and I'll try this, and I'll try paid that and the other, and oh, none of that's worked, John, I've been at it for a year. And it's like, if you'd have put that year into just following the program, you could have been full-time. I went full-time within well before 12 months, just following John. I'd been prattling about for 5 years, making a couple $100 here and $50 there, and nothing regular. And then John and I got into conversation. I won't go the whole details of it and what have you, but he wanted me some of my expertise. And I was like, yeah, I don't want paying, I want your advice. And I followed his advice. This was before he had a coaching program, but it probably gave him one of his ideas to do a coaching program. I followed his advice, and within months I was full-time and online, paying all my household bills, because I stuck to what John actually told me, because I thought, do you know what? I'm a sales marketing expert, but I'm not an expert at the internet yet. So I followed John because he was. So, without wanting to get into a rant about it, stop looking for what else, just follow the program, and we will try and help as much as we can with presentations like this that work, rather than try and say, well, you could go and try all this other stuff that we've tried in the past and it just doesn't work. But if you want to go and waste some money, you could do. No, I'd rather lose my temper with you and say, stop it. Stop wasting money on free this and, solo that, and what. Just follow the program. If it worked, it'd be in the program. Sorry.
Yeah, good point. No, it's fine, Randy. It's fine. Right. Adriana is saying, what if I want to talk about a topic like health? Do you mean, say, I don't know if you mean just health, or bring that into, I mean, what I could say about health is we're in a very unhealthy business. We're sat at a computer all day. So I could literally I could put health into some of my blog posts, but I don't know if that's what you mean. If it's going to be a health related blog, then that's a different avenue. But yeah, you could definitely put health into it. You can definitely 100%, because a lot of internet marketers are unhealthy because they're sat at the desk all day and a lot of junk food and things like that. So hopefully that helps somewhere.
So you could blog about anything, because at the end of the day, what you got to remember as well is a lot of people go, oh, well, it's not about making money online. And it's like, yeah, but what's the one common denominator of every human being that's trying to make money online? The one common denominator is they're all human beings. And as human beings, we also have health issues, we have weight loss issues, we have confidence issues, we have every sort of issue going. So if you just wanted to blog about a subject, all you do is then go, well, what about health? Right, what about health affects an internet marketer? Right, now I've got a blog post, internet marketers make money online, is health an issue? If you're sat at the computer all day and you're this, that and the other, here's some basic exercises you can do while you're sat at your computer trying to make money online. It still relates and applies. I could do a blog post about my favorite coffee and how it relates to internet marketing, because I can't function without 3 cups of coffee to wake me up in the morning. And I like my Lazar. I can't even say this stuff. It's in a red packet. It's Italian. And I have a bean to cup coffee machine.
Lavazza.
The Amazon affiliate link for the coffee machine, the coffee, what have you. And it's still about internet marketing, because internet marketers are human beings. So it's like when these people say, oh, I'm not going to promote that because my list only buy graphics. It's like, really, what are they buying graphics for? To put on web pages? So they need to know about web page design. They need to know about copywriting. They need to know about autoresponders and building a list and making money. You know, so you could blog about toothpaste. You know, are you an internet marketer? Well, I've got toothpaste. What's your favourite brand? Colgate? You know, it's £1 in the shops. I've got tubes of toothpaste for £1. Would they buy? Of course they would, because they still brush their teeth, whether they're working on a computer or not. So we're all human beings. So everything in life relates to all of us. It's just finding the marketing angle on it. Find how does it affect me in sitting in front of the computer doing my job? Can I still mention coffee? Yes, I can. I can put affiliate links to coffee. I can talk about needing coffee to get up to work on the computer. Toothpaste, you know, I still brush my teeth. So if I've got an offer on toothpaste, hey, special offer for internet marketers only. Pound toothpaste at £1 a tube. You know, it's going to sell, because you just need to find the angle of how does it apply in your business. Obviously, those are extreme angles, but, you know, you're promoting graphics and somebody says, do you want to sell my copywriting book? My people only buy graphics. No, they buy graphics to put on a website. Do they need to learn about copywriting to make sure that people who look at that graphic then see the right words to make them do what you want them to do? Click a link, buy a product, whatever it might be.
Spot on, Randy. Yeah, you remind me then when you were talking, I do remember, and just touch on this very briefly, you were once writing about learning the guitar, and you were following some guy and you recommended his program on your blog. And if I remember rightly, I remember you talking about it on one of our webinars, you made a few $100s in commissions. And you were talking about learning the guitar. On his leaderboard. I've
got an internet marketing blog and I was third on the leaderboard for how to play guitar.
So there you go.
Just because I said, you know, between me internet marketing, I've got some hobbies. I've always wanted to learn to play guitar. So I've started following this guy and he's just launched a product about it. Here's a video of my first attempt, you know, a week later. Here's a video of me now. Look at the difference. A week later, whoa, I can play a song and everything. I still can't sing for Toffee, but, you know, and because of that, I sold that many copies. I ended up third on his leaderboard.
There you go. There you go. David saying, by the way, we've got a lot of questions, guys, and we're going to answer them all, okay? So if you've got any questions, put it in the chat. We'll cover it, okay? Hold on, where am I? Do you use your main feed or your page when you share your posts? I personally use mostly my main feed, but I do have a page I share to as well. It will really depend on what you're doing with Facebook. I'm not a Facebook expert, but I find I get results by just sharing to my regular feed. I mean, I've got 5,000 Facebook friends and about 3,000 followers. So I'm instantly reaching out to 8,000 people.
My question is just, have you got both? We'll share it on both.
Yeah, if you've got both, sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because like I said, I copy what I share on my main feed and post it into groups, not just partnership. You know, I'll post it elsewhere if I think it's relevant and the group's not going to be upset at me posting it. It's going to be useful and helpful for them. I'll post it and then I get all the thanks, the likes, the shares, and people clicking through, and suddenly I've got new subscribers. You know, to the point where I think it was Richard today, you know, oh, it's fantastic being on Randy's list because he saved me some money today or whatever. So then other people are going to go, well, where can I get on Randy's list? Let's click Randy's name. Oh, there's his website. Oh, there's his list. Bang, I've got a new subscriber. Thanks very much, Richard.
Yeah. Adil's asking, what should my objective, let me start that again. What should my objective be with my blog? Is it focused on a particular niche? What I always say is over time, you'll start to drift into an area. But the first phase, just write about literally what we've talked about on this webinar. Just follow what we've talked about, experiences, etc. What you'll find is when you start to choose a niche for your product, you might start to write more. For example, if you're going to talk, let's say you're going to create a how to build a blog product or blogging product, you're going to naturally gear towards that sort of topic in your posts. If you're going to start talking about how to use Facebook to generate traffic, you'd start to naturally gear towards that. It naturally happens, but the first phase, just copy what, you know, just do what we've talked about on this webinar. Okay, Sarah's just saying I'm still over 12 million on my site I built last year. Okay, well, just keep going, Sarah. Just keep going.
Yeah, 12 million still ranked.
It's still ranked.
You know, you look at some sites, it just says no rank.
Yeah. And Paul's just made a very good point. You can have as many Facebook pages as you like, to whoever asked that earlier. I think it was David. Was it David or someone else asked about that? Okay. Jim's asking, since I got Google Slap, can I get a second account and use that? If you're talking about for ads, I wouldn't have thought so.
No. If it's AdSense, no, they follow you, they know who you are, where you are, and what you eat for breakfast, so they'll never give you a second Google AdSense account. But that's another thing that when people ask me personally, you know, oh, what about me AdSense, Randy? You haven't got AdSense on your site. I got banned years ago. And even when I moved addresses a few times and eventually got another account, I noticed that I was making a penny for a click away from my site. I don't want people leaving my site, not for a penny. I would rather, instead of having AdSense, and I know John shows you how to put AdSense on because people like to hope that they're going to make a few pennies, but I'd rather put an advert for a product in place of that Google AdSense bar and have that product take the click away from my site, because that product's going to make me potentially $1,000, or, you know, it's going to make me dollars in commission as opposed to pennies for a click that takes somebody off my site. So that's my personal opinion, not John's opinion. My personal opinion, I wouldn't touch AdSense with a barge pole. I would rather have an advert for either my own or an affiliate product that I trust, that I know I'm going to, you know, if I send somebody to John's site, John's going to follow them around with my affiliate link and I'm going to earn some money. I'd rather have money than pennies.
Okay. My opinion of AdSense is it's you say stuff happen, and when you say stuff happen, it gives you the confidence and to keep things going. That's why I put AdSense. That's why I say put AdSense on your blog, because literally in a matter of weeks you'll see stuff happen, you know, days even. I think it's just saying, not a question, lots of thanks for great inspiration, very helpful, great stories, etc. Thank you very much. Ben is asking, is adding the social media buttons to my blog post enough, or do I need to physically send my posts out to each social medium? Yeah, you add the buttons and then you use the buttons to share your content. But what Randy was saying, he takes the link and puts it in the groups as well. So just, you know, I don't think it really matters if you click share or if you actually take your link from your blog post and share. But if you click share, some of the social sharing plugins tell you how many times it's being shared, which can help as well.
Yeah, share it everywhere, Ben.
Yeah, share it where you can. Jim's just saying Shelley did and does health blogs. So there you go. That answers, was it Anita's question, I think? Martin's asking, what type of sales tax settings on JVZoo? That is a tough one, because we're not legally qualified to advise on tax. So yeah, I mean, that's an accountant. Yeah, I don't want to go down a road where I'm saying something what could be wrong. We tend not to get involved with tax.
And it gets confusing as well.
Stuff. Yeah, it's different
nationally and
different countries. Yeah. But ultimately, if you earn an income, you have to pay tax. That's ultimately what it boils down to. And an accountant is the best person to see. I have an accountant. He tells me what to do. I do it. Elaine's just saying, I've known someone who opened up 2 Facebook profiles, kept one for personal, one for business. They built the business one up, had lots of friends, followers. Facebook found out that 2 profiles, shut one down. So not worth getting and building it up to get it shut down. Good point. Very good point. Okay. Dell's going to write a blog post on toothpaste.
I'm looking forward to reading that one.
Loretta's asking, does having a domain name other than your name affect anything? I would say no, not really. It is better to have your name if you can get it, but I obviously understand that's not always possible. So ultimately, if you're putting good stuff out there, you're going to get found. And as long as people understand that it's you, you know, you might have a tagline or something like, you know, I'm trying to think of one. I'm trying to think of what Dan Sumner had one. Marketing from scratch. He uses it, you know, he's got dansumner.com, but he's also got marketingfromscratch.com. And he uses both. So, you know, if you had something like that, I think you will be absolutely fine.
In the first instance, you know, again, John teaches get your name. Once you're making your 10, 20 grand a month or whatever, you might decide, you know what, John, I don't want to use my name. I want to use a business name because I want to build a company. And eventually when I retire, I want to sell the company. And that's why I gave up randolphsmith.com years ago when I was part of Media Kettle, because it was all about the company brand. But now I've sold my shares in the company. That's why I started again and, you know, took the semi-retirement and started again with randolphsmith.com. I've always said to John, you know, one day, John, you're going to retire and you won't be able to sell johnthornhill.com because nobody else can pretend to be you. But somebody could buy it and just say, I've taken over from John, I'm going to keep the name, but my name's Fred. It doesn't quite feel the same. So company name is great if you're already making shed loads of money. If you're not, then your own name, because it's you that people will search for. And that's why John says, get your name. If you had a name like Randolph, you'd plaster it everywhere. Well, with a PH, you'd find that there's lots of competition, but luckily mine's spelt with an F, so there is no other Randolph with an F Smiths in the world.
Right then, Jim's asking, how do I know if my site is on Widlink, in the Widlink widget? Jim, when we add you, we let you know. And if you go to any of the partnership members' blogs and you see where they've got the other cool blog section, if you refresh enough, you'll see your name come up. That you know, but when we see it's been added, it has been added.
Yeah, because it goes on a rotator.
It's rotating, yeah. Or you could set up a test. Oh no, you exclude your own site. I'm just trying to think of a way to do it. You could not exclude your name and then set it to do 100 blog rotation. You'd see it pretty quick. So that's another way. But when we add it, we confirm that it's been added. Dan's asking, how do you feel about a video post instead of a written post? Absolutely fine. That's exactly what Randy did when he showed people how to install a help desk. A little bit of text, then the video showed what to do, then some text with some affiliate links below. So yes, nothing wrong with that at all. Okay, and George is just saying, don't set up a personal page in your business name on Facebook. Set up a personal page and through that set up a business page. Yeah, that makes sense. Which one of the bonus products in the members area would you suggest to help us promote P2S? I think that would go back to what Randy said when he had a little moment earlier about, you know, follow the program. I know when you first come in, you want, you know, you're thinking, well, I want to promote the program. I want to promote the program. Do it through blogging. In the early days, do it through blogging, and then everything will naturally fall into place. It's all well and good trying to take shortcuts, and you know, a lot of people have tried the pay for traffic and things like that because you don't have to do anything. But ultimately, the ultimate goal of this program is to build an online presence, to create and launch your own products and services. That is it. Nothing else matters. If you do that, you will succeed. I promise. Okay. Every single successful marketer who has gone through this program, that is what they've done. They've built an online presence, became active with their blog, they've created and launched products. You will be guaranteed 100% to succeed if you do that. And you can do that if you follow the program week by week.
Is asking how many words is best for a post, and that's one of those, how long's a piece of string there? Enough words to get across what you want to get across. So that could be one paragraph, or it could be practically a book. And as long as it's engaging, keeps the reader engaged, entertained, educated, it doesn't matter. From a paragraph to a whole novella. You know, so don't worry about how many words there are, worry about have I got across the point that I wanted to make.
Yeah, good point. I would say personally though, what I've done in the past is use the old article writing sort of standard, which is a minimum of 400 words. I try to do that. So I think anything less, unless it's something, you know, where you can really get something across quick, you know, anything less than 400 can usually just be, yeah, it's very hard to get across what you want to. But like Randy says, if it gets something across, it will be fine. I wouldn't do it all the time. I wouldn't get into a habit of writing 200 to 300 word posts. You know, you might have one or two instances where that happen, but yeah, as a general rule, personally myself, I try to go beyond 400 words. Is it worth changing a headline on an old blog post that you feel will be more effective, or is it better to rewrite the post, changing it slightly? I would probably rewrite it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I suppose you could change a headline, but if I had the opportunity, I'd think, well, hang on, why change a headline? I've got that one there. That might appeal to some people. Therefore, if I'm going to redo the headline, I'm going to redo the post as well, because that would appeal to other people.
That's exactly what I was thinking. So there you go. There you go, George. Yeah, rewrite it, especially if it's something that's got good response in the past as well. I mean, I do re-engage people with my post by sharing them again, but if you can bring up another version of that post that can hopefully get results again, yeah, rewrite it. Okay.
And we're getting some questions in now that are on different subjects entirely, and quite honestly, we've gone way over the hour mark, John, so we don't want to lose the recording.
Yes, we generally don't go beyond an hour, and we are way beyond, but I'm going to just quickly touch. Can you talk about the product creation process? Obviously, we can't talk about it right now, but phase 2 walks you literally through the whole everything you need to do. Okay, and it's not, you know, some people think it's product creation is something they can't do. It is. Okay, and there's no one can not create a product. Everyone can create a product, and I show you how to do it step by step. Okay, guys. Hello, Stephen. Better late than never. Yes, Stephen, we're just about to close. Stephen Alves just came on, who has got, you know, he's done fantastically well from the program. Okay. I think we'll close it there then, guys. Okay. So hopefully you guys have got a ton of value from this. If you came in late like Stephen, we'll get the replay up and we'll get this put in the group as well. This is definitely going to go in the group. This is actually going to go in the week 1 training as well. So for anyone who's watching the replay, yeah, there you go. That's what it was for.